Hello again. I send you only positive energy and motivation. I hope everyone is feeling great and know that a part of winning is losing. So I want to start on that positive notes, uh, and I want to uh, tell you to keep your heads up, even if it does not, it is not an ideal moment for you, right? So I want to talk about something that I think will be very contradicting for some people, or I think it will be hard for some people to agree with me on, but I think it is a very valid point, and you will uh, be able to judge this validity if you hear me out here. And this is about a coach that I rank very highly, higher than a lot of people would rank him, and that is my coach, Mikel Arteta. So, first and foremost, my belief is that Mikel Arteta will be one of the best coaches this generation have ever seen. That is my belief. And I know, I will get a lot of pushbacks on this. But there's a reason why I say this. There are multiple reasons, actually, why I say this. And I understand that if you do not watch Arsenal Football Club, you'll probably have your doubts. But one of the first reasons or indicator why I think Mikel Arteta will be such a great manager, and I championed his efforts since the beginning of his reign at Arsenal, even when things looked a bit gloomy. And you remember those Arteta out process? I was always calm. Well, generally, I am usually calm. I would like to think, but in this time, I was very calm, and I could see the changes in everything that he was doing, right? And it brings me to my first point why I think Mikel Arteta will be one of the greatest coaches of this generation. And it is his love for Arsenal Football Club. This guy absolutely loves this club, the way he talks about the club. And you can see that shining through with his methods of getting the club where he thinks it deserves to be. And he always says this. He always says that Arsenal deserves to be here. We are a club that deserves to be here. And when he says where it deserves to be, it's always at the highest level. And so for that reason, I think you have to have an elite mindset. And some coaches shy away from this marker of where they want to bring their club. But Mikel Arteta from the get-go, he did not shy from this. He knows where he wants his club to go, and his love for the club is one trait that I think will be good for him to push on in that elite mentality of a top manager, right? Another point is his obvious love and obsession almost for the game, and I think every good manager that we have seen over the years, Alex Ferguson, who I think was a top manager, Arsene Wenger, who was another great manager of the game, Jose Mourinho. I don't know if I'm butchering the first name because it's Portuguese and maybe that's not the way it should be pronounced. Pep Guardiola, who in my opinion is the greatest managers of all time in the way he sees the game and his tactical approach to the game, right? But there's almost this obsession that they have to have. It's borderline obsessive, is the way I describe it. Jurgen Klopp and Arteta has this. He and when he spoke about spending more time at the club than the time that he spent with his wife, and this is the level that this guy would go to ensure that success comes to this club, right? Another reason is when he came to the club, he kept stressing one point, and that point was bringing the fans and the club closer. Now, this is important for multiple reasons. A lot of managers would come in and they would try to get the players going, and that is not the approach that Mikel Arteta took. He knew, and at the time the club was very fractured, but Mikel Arteta, he knew that in order to bring this club forward, we need to be on the same wavelength with the players. We need to be singing off the same hymn sheet, and that is very important. And I think that the greatest managers do this. They always say, we need the fans, we need the fans, we need the fans, right? And that brings me to another point of why I think he will be a very elite manager, and that is his understanding of energy. And this is very, very important. And again, I think all the top managers say this, but let us examine what this is for a moment, right? Every top manager, they always say, we need the fans, right? They always stress this. When the team is down, they're always waving for the crowd to start making noise. And they do this for a reason. There is a reason why fans play such a huge role in the success of a club, right? And this notion of energy, you see it play out in almost every game. And let me give you an example. When William Saliba, which is one of the best defenders in Europe right now, the first time William Saliba scored an own goal for Arsenal, which was it was a mistake, right? If you can call it that, because it was a very strange goal. The fans started to sing his name immediately. Now that does something to a player. As I said, there is a reciprocal relationship going on, and Mikel Arteta understands this. There has to be this reciprocal relationship between the fans and the players. And the fact that the fans sung this William Saliba song, which is great, by the way, oh, that song is amazing, right? He did not lose confidence. Now, on the opposite end of the scale, when there is a mistake, right, and the crowd goes flat, right, and you hear that, oh, coming from the stands, that also has an effect on the player's mental space. Now they get very jittery and, oh my God, I can't make a mistake. Now some players are not like that because everyone's mentality can be different. Now if all the players have this Teflon mentality to say, okay, I make a mistake, but that's not the be all and all. Mistakes happen, which Arteta is always saying, but I need to get back up there and I need to do something for the fans again, to see that I'm trying and I want to do good for this, right? It will boost what the crowd thinks, and in return, that player plays well. So, and that's why I keep saying there's a reciprocal relationship happening there. And Mikel Arteta, he understands this, right? So that's another reason why I think he will be an elite coach, and he's not there yet, but the trajectory, everything is pointing towards this. Another reason why I think he'll be a top coach is his tactical approach to the game. And this is not just within the realms of football, and I tell you what I mean when I say this. Tactically, Mikel Arteta is a very, very, very good coach, right? And we saw that play out in the Manchester City game to perfection. Now, he does not get this right every time, and I expect that to happen because he is a relatively young manager. He even said it himself when he's talking about the goalkeeper situation. By the way, that is another thing that we need to talk about. Aaron Ramsdale has been speaking about this on international duty, and you have to feel sorry for the guy. But let's not stray from the point here. But tactically, Mikel Arteta has shown that he can beat every single manager in the Premier League. And the circle was just completed with the victory over Manchester City, right? And now that will give the players a mental boost, and that is why I stick by my early prediction of Arsenal winning this league. And I am an Arsenal fan, and I am aware that I can be biased, but in this instant, I did not predict Arsenal to win the league last season for multiple reasons, right? And having that mental block against Manchester City was one reason why I did not predict Arsenal to win the league. But this season, I think the boys are ready, and I think we will get there, right? But I think tactically, I say Mikel Arteta does not lose the same way twice. If you beat him in a match in a particular way, you will not beat him in another match in the same manner. That is what I am positive about with my coach, Mikel Arteta. So that is another reason why I think that he'll be a great coach. Tactically, he's not there yet, but he's getting there, and he's learning this game. He's learning that, hey, pretty football, champagne football, does not work all the time, right? Sometimes I need to be defensively very good, and I need to give up some of this position like we did against City to actually win the game. Because at the end of the day, 3 points is what counts, right? Another thing that I want you to notice again, and this is off the field, is when Mikel Arteta gives his interviews. And this is so contrasting to Arsene Wenger. And I used to dislike this about Arsene Wenger. He would give away everything in regards to, okay, who is going to play, who is injured. And I'm like, even if this is true, don't tell the opponent what is going to happen, because these margins are so small that every advantage that you can get, you have to take it. And that is something that Mikel Arteta understands. He knows that the margins are so small. So every advantage that he can get in every way, he takes this, right? And when you ask Mikel Arteta about his players and whether they're injured, he gives you a vague answer like, he's in contention, right? That can mean a host of things, right? That can mean a host of things. So what this does to the opponent, right? He or she does not know what to plan for, right? He, in this case, because there are no female coaches in the Premier League just yet, and that is another topic that we can talk about, right? So that is a tactic that I really love from Mikel Arteta, and this is showing you how this guy is thinking. He's thinking from every angle. How I can have this advantage or get this advantage over my opponent. And that is another reason why I think Mikel Arteta will be one of the greatest coaches we will see in this generation, and that we are seeing now. Another thing about Mikel Arteta is he learns from his mistakes. He learns from his mistakes. If he makes a mistake in this match, I have seen mistakes that Mikel Arteta made when he just started. He even spoke about one, a very outlandish one, because a lot of people are still up in arms about the Aaron Ramsdale and the Raya switch. But to me, I trust this coach so much that anything that he does, I trust that it is there's a reason behind it, and I think it's for the betterment of the team, because Mikel Arteta puts Arsenal first every time. Mikel Arteta does not care about a player's feelings. Arsenal is his priority, and that brings me to my next point. He is ruthless. He is a very ruthless manager, and I think all great managers are ruthless. Not that they're disrespectful to their players. They want to give them game time, but he's looking what is best for the team. And we see that playing out right now. It is yet to be proven, in my opinion. But right now, he's saying, listen, Raya is a better goalkeeper, right? He keeps the ball more. That is what I want the team to do. He's better with his feet. Ramsdale, I'm going to move you to the bench, because at the end of the day, this will be better for the team, right? And with those characteristics, I think Mikel Arteta is on route to be one of the best managers we have ever seen. I'm not saying he's going to be the greatest, but he will be one of the elite managers of this generation, in my opinion. All right, so we wrap it up there. That was my take on Mikel Arteta. Leave it in comments and let me know what you think. If you agree or disagree, I would love to hear from you. All right, until next time, I'll talk to you soon.